Go First will stop flights tomorrow and day after at the very least. Just those 2 days, but going forward, I'm unclear about whether they'd resume flights immediately. Why? Because of a severe fund shortage. Excuse me, only 50% of the airline's fleet is operational, as it's not getting spare engines from the US firm Pratt & Whitney, is what Go First has said. Following the announcement, the aviation regulator, the DGCA, that's the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, has sent them a notice for not informing them prior to cancelling all scheduled flights, and they've asked for a reply within 24 hours. The airlines have to tell the regulator that they intend to cancel all scheduled flights before doing so. But what Go First has said that they've had to stop flights because of the ever-increasing number of failing engines supplied by Pratt & Whitney's International Aero Engines division, which has resulted in Go First having to ground 25 aircraft, or 50% of their Airbus A320neo fleet. But the bottom line is it's an issue of bankruptcy. They've applied for insolvency over here. One hopes that this airline just gets back, but at this stage, I mean, they've apologized to their creditors in their letter, and they've said that, look, we don't really have the ability to pay our immediate dues. Joining us, Raghu Chaudhary, the founder and CEO of wowidays, which is a travel company.
Passengers who book for the summer months, people who booked holidays, done the bookings, people who've flown to Bangalore or whatever international destination, Bali or wherever they're flying, and have to come back, they will get stranded. Where will they get the ticket?
Parvez, I just wanted to ask Raghu Chaudhary that very question, since he runs a major travel company. What happens to those passengers? Firstly, in your understanding, Raghu, is this just the third and the fourth, or is this an indefinite flights being sort of blocked or stopped by Go Air? And what is the likely impact on passengers who've already booked?
Yeah, good evening, Vishnu. It's a very good topic you raised after a few months. Actually, the issues are happening since last few months, not only this month or last month. This issue from the airlines is happening post-pandemic, particularly certain airlines for international and domestic is happening since long time. And we have raised so many times to the government and DGCA and the issues, because as rightly said by you, passengers are the most suffers. So lakhs of billions of passengers suffers. For certain airlines, for any kind of within 24 hours, so they don't give a time to the passenger also. They certainly send a message that your flight is cancelled due to some oppressed reasons, and you may get just refund or alternate option, which is not a solution. Generally, what happened, as rightly said by you, the tourist and the holiday, whoever want to go to the holiday, international or domestic, like middle class, any class, like for the sake of that, saving that few rupees, they book earlier, 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. Some people even book 8 months, 9 months, 1 year advance also, the flight tickets, and then hotel arrangement, rest of the things for holiday. And not only the flight, and they spend lakhs of rupees in their international.
No, absolutely, Raghu. And what happens to passengers is the big issue. It becomes bad. And the important point is the government was actually helping them with some emergency funding as well, which is what the government has announced today. Despite that, they couldn't get their act together. It's sad, and perhaps the reasons are very valid. But I think as we talk about the great growth story of Indian aviation, we have had airlines which have not done well and have collapsed, and that is a sad reality. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us out of time on this program from all of us here.